So Lenny, since we weren't able to get the books, there's something else that I wanted to do, and that was I want to do a continuation of something that you started sharing with us yesterday. I know you've got so many stories that you could share, but this one just really interests me, and I think it's going to interest a lot of people as well, and that was in relation to when they came into the prison to do the movie.
Oh, the movie Triple X State of Reunion.
We looked it up last night. I actually seen the prison scene.
Oh,
in there.
that's my $500 shot right there. Oh yeah.
Who else can say that while they were serving time in prison, they were in a movie?
It was an experience, man, that I would never forget. You know, it was an experience that I never forget. And for those 3 days of shooting that particular thing, man, I didn't even know that in order to be an extra, you had to do, stuff, right? And for the 3 days of shooting that, I forgot all about that. I was in prison for a minute, man. And but after 3 days was up, reality sit back in, where I was at,
With so many dark and grim thoughts and memories that you have from the time that you served, this was actually, it sort of sounds like this is one of the more happy times.
It was, for me. It gave me an opportunity to see people at least achieving things, success in their lives, and being surrounded with a lot of ex-convicts,
We looked at this movie last night. We saw the prison scene.
Right.
When you see are you visible in the prison scene?
Yeah, I'm visible, right. Like I say, it was about 22, 23 of us, that was considered, extras in that particular scene. So I think that I am very visible, although that I'm kind of fly. Yeah, but yeah.
Well, they came into this prison where you were at,
right,
and they filmed a movie.
Right.
You got Ice Cube starring in
right,
this movie. Did you guys see Ice Cube in the
movie?
movie?
Yeah, because like I say, my responsibility at that time, in my job in the prison system, I used to work in the gym. In the gym, we had a lot of universal machines, all kinds of universal weight machines. And it was my job to get all those universal machines off the floor, and for they could have room where they set up for their lunches, dinners, and stuff like that. They should put all buffet-style foods down. So I had opportunity to see him, doing breaks, stuff like that, man. It was like first movie star that I haven't been, close up on,
Did he say anything to you?
Yeah, we rapped, concerning, things that he had coming up, what he wanted to do, and what he hoped to do with his life, right? It was a very, very good experience for me, man. It was,
Talk to us about how it was. How did it first come about? Obviously, they probably got to make some sort of announcement or let you guys know. Hey.
Yeah. They started putting flyers up in the prison system regarding, because when the shooting and everything was going down, the remainder of the jail would be locked down, because they didn't want a lot of activities going on, and they also, we wanted to make the population aware that the gym, was going to be closed. That's where a lot of activity goes on for the inmates there. So I was just one of the fortunate ones to be able to be out there because I worked in the gym, and it was, but they had made announcements way prior to the filming, of that particular movie, that some parts of it were going to be filmed in the prison system, and the other parts are going to be filmed on Hanover Street Bridge, here in Maryland, And it was like, it was a very good experience for me, Like I said, it took me away from the reality of the prison system setting, only for a couple of days, But I lived in that moment, for a long time after that.
What was it like for the other prisoners who didn't get to be a part of the movie? Was there like hate? Were they mad?
Of course there was, a lot of, jealousy and things of that nature, because they was locked down for the, 23 hours, during that day, and a lot of curiosity of what's really going on, because certain side of the prison system, you could see exactly what's going on, through the windows, of course. But the other side of the jail was the north side. They didn't know, or see what was going on down there, you know. So yeah, it was a lot of talk, a lot of rumors, a lot of jealousy, a lot of hate, and being as though all the population knew that that's where I work at, and when they had certain events, that comes into the system like family days and stuff like that, people be coming to me trying to get tickets, and so now that they knew that I was working down there, they tried to get me to get them out of the cell so they can, it's not only just eat, and see something, history was being made, it was, for Maryland, because there's a lot of films that's going on here in Maryland, but that was a part of history as well, and I was a part of it, although I was in prison, man,
what kind of, did they give you guys any kind of special treatment? I know that the
Yeah,
extras
yeah,
got the
yeah.
$500.
Like I say, they paid us the 500. They put that in our commissary account, of course. But the extra treatment was, man, the food itself. The food itself. At the end of the day, shooting. Everybody that was out there participating in that particular part, was given all the food that was taken back. And people in prison don't eat like that, right? People in prison don't eat like that, and so that was a I would say an honor in itself to be able to eat something different, to be able to eat something different. Now to this very day, I don't know what I really like as far as when it comes to foods. But that day I tried to taste a little bit of everything, and it was good, man. It was good.
What about when the movie came out? Were you guys given like?
No, we were given no special. You mean special privileges or?
Yeah, did you get to see the movie?
Yeah, like I say, of course it was in the movie. First of all, then it came on, different channels and things of that nature as time went on. And I still say today, right? That me, you see me? Yeah, so.
Hold on, but good. You guys couldn't see the movie until it was showing on
right.
TNT
No, you couldn't. You couldn't see it till everything started, coming about. I was excited to see how it came out, and the part that I physically seen, with my own eyes, especially the part that he played the role of when he escaped out of the prison, how the helicopter come in to get him, how the helicopter was going towards the guard tower, but as soon as it got to the guard tower, it veered off to the right, and was literally a man hanging up under there, was a stuntman doing that particular part, man, and it was amazing to me, to see that particular part and how this stuntman was literally hanging from this helicopter, but he wasn't strapped down, I said, yeah, he earned his money, and they had plenty hard, plenty hard. And so I enjoyed it. Those 3 days, I enjoyed just not being in the cell, not participating in something positive, It was cool.
Since we've started on this topic of, a happy or positive moment from the time that you served, and again, not to have to even reiterate this, but there's probably been just so many negative moments from the time that you served. Are there any other moments that come to mind that were positive or, crazy to say, but like a happy moment while you were in prison?
As I say, a happy moment, there's, it's not all, sad moments, but there was a happy moment when, because being in prison, especially here for me in Maryland, you meet a lot of good people, a lot of good men. And when they put me in the cell with Charles Dutton, The Rock, but before I was introduced to him, as my cell buddy, you go around to the prison, you talk to various people, and they talk about they had this, they got this, or they're gonna do this. And you could be who you want to be in prison because really don't nobody know you. And when they put me in the cell with Charles Dutton, I didn't know that who he was, or what he was doing, or what his life entailed. But I do know that, spending, time day after day, month after month, year after year in the cell with him, that he was going to do something great, because all he did, he stayed focused. And that was a learning experience for me, how one stay focused on their goals. So every day he came in the cell and he used to write. Every day and every night he was focused. And he always say he's gonna make him some money one day. You watch what I say, young boy. You watch what I say. And I said, yeah, you can be who you wanna be. Everybody can be who they wanna be in prison, you know what I mean? Because nobody really knows. But it was a happy moment when he got released.
He got released.
Yeah, he got his sentence overturned and got released, and he started doing good. And I had the honor to meet him. I had the honor to sleep in the same cells with him. And it made me think, man, that there are some people that really want something better for their lives and to stay focused in achieving their goals. And that's what I want to do with my life today. I want to stay focused just for the day, and I know I can do it. It's going to be challenges along the way, and I expect that. But I got much assistance out here, and all I have to do is be honest and open, let down those prison walls that's so hard to do, So my therapist, the more that I talk about my past, of course it hurt because the healing wasn't done properly. And the more that I worry about my future.
Speaking of, and forgive me for changing the subject, but I wanted to throw this in here. You mentioned this cell partner of yours, Charles Dutton.
Yeah.
It sounds like this is probably one of the best cell partners that you ever had. He put you on the right track in terms of getting you interested in writing and would lead to why you would write the 2 books that you did. Where is this guy now? Have you seen him since you've been released?
He have a running group here in Maryland. It's called Back on My Feet. And he's the sponsor of that running group. And they all over Maryland.
Running group, like they jog?
Yeah, they jog early in the morning, And he sponsored that group. So, last that I heard, he was in Miami, filming something else. I forgot the name of it.
Filming?
Yeah, he filming in Miami from my understanding, but I don't know exactly. And that was the last I heard, was around about 6-7 months ago. And yes, he was truly one of the inspiring cell buddies that I've had during my incarceration. All of them.
How old is this guy, do you imagine?
I really don't know his exact age.
If you had to guess, like 30s?
About 70,
About 70?
Yeah, about 70. I would say so. And but there has been others, such people that I ran into during my prison experience, one who by the name of Dennis Wise, who was a contract killer here in Baltimore, all over the place, He have a few books out that he helped me to get my thoughts on track as to what direction to take, what should I do, things of that nature. So he was very inspiring as well. He and I were cell buddy.
Dennis Wise.
Yeah, Dennis Wise.
Do you know the name of any of the books that he wrote?
Yeah, he got a couple. He got through on one that's called The Wolf Trap, about here in Baltimore, about drug scenes and things of that nature. He established the NAACP and the Maryland system. He was the president of the NAACP, and he was very inspiring. Now he run these groups here in Baltimore called Safe Streets.
He's released?
Yeah, he's been released now for about a year, and he participated in these Safe Streets of Baltimore. Tried to keep Baltimore streets safe, so he's involved with a lot of activities such as that. So I'm trying to stay on the positive, get a positive network of people, and it's helping me. But the struggle is still, there, of course, But I'm trying to surround myself with positive-minded people. I can't socialize with no one that don't want better for their lives. So that's what I tried to do today.
Well, these guys that you've just mentioned. Charles Dutton, Dennis Wise, they definitely sound like some positive people.
Oh, most definitely.
It'd be interesting to try to get in contact with these guys and maybe formulate some kind of a reunion between you and them.
See, we have, since I've been home, we have, little out here in this park right here. Matter of fact, you know, depends on what part of the park they're choosing for the year to have, you know, Lifers reunion.
A Lifers reunion?
Lifers reunion. It's every year here in Baltimore, and they pick certain parts of this park right here, you know, to have their reunion, because there's so many lifers who, man, deserve opportunities, man, you know, who have totally, I'm sure I can fix my mouth to say anything, but their work showed that their life have changed. Over the 30 years, there are people 40, 50, 60 years who have been incarcerated, who's literally is, changed. But since the government, when he came into office, he said that life means life, you know, and that put a hell of a compact on the system here, you know. They took the power of the judges out of the hand, the governor did, because he says that when life, you sentence to life, that's what it means. But back then, you know, you could do 25 years and go up for a life sentence and make parole. But now today, you know, it's so hard for lifers to get out. But now, up under the Europa law, there's a lot of lifers being released. And Dennis Wiles was amongst, and a lot of other lifers that being released from prison here in Maryland. You know, so it being as though that, you know, people haven't seen each other for years and years. You know, we get together out here in this park right here, you know, at certain parts of the year, and have just a reunion to see what people are at in their lives, how far they have come. For those who have passed on, you know, just get caught up. I met some beautiful, beautiful guys, man. Although they may have did what they was charged for, I don't know. You know, I believe the God is the best of judges, but I do know during my period of incarceration, I done ran into some lot of good men, man, that would never have an opportunity to be free again, you know. So, and it was like, for me being released, I didn't want to leave a lot of the guys back there that I know was good people. I've been literally saved, my life was saved by a few individuals because of my activities that I've been into, you know. It's, it hurts, you know, but I got to keep it moving, you know.
All right, it is freezing out here, and we're gonna get the heck up out of here. We were able to find this little gazebo thing to be able to film in, and I think that we're actually in a part of the Baltimore Zoo right now. There was a dude, he's still sitting over there on his golf cart, but he ain't bothering us none. And sees that we ain't bothering nothing. As we get closer to wrapping this up, Lenny, I want to wrap this video up on a positive note. You shared something with us yesterday about how you got to go speak to some important people, right, and got a law changed, or got something enacted. And what was that about?
Yeah, the law, it was another experience that I experienced in my life, right? Because being in the cell, you know, and being incarcerated for so long, and I was afforded the opportunity when I came out in order to go to Annapolis, and that's where laws are being made.
Annapolis is the state capital of Maryland.
Maryland. And I had the opportunity to go down there with a bunch of people in order to get this bill passed called the Shielding Bill.
It's called the what?
The Shielding Bill. The Shielding Bill consists of, you know, people who have been convicted of felonies and things of that nature. And on the paper application that have you ever been convicted of a felony? And once that is on there, you know, the people that is applying for the jobs that have been in prison for about,
they're getting denied.
Yeah, they get denied because that's the first thing that they do, even though they may have, you know, the same qualifications as the next person, but it don't afford them the opportunity.
Because they're not going to look past that
felony. They're not going to
felony.
look past that felony.
So you got to go to Annapolis with some other individuals and speak to some senators.
Yes.
And you got this thing called the Sealing Bill.
The Shielding Bill, which takes off that particular part. Have you ever been convicted of?
Ban the box is basically what it was.
Right. You know, and that was an experience itself from being, you know, incarcerated for so long, then having the opportunity to go there, you know, and talk about something that was important to me because when I came home, I really wanted to work, you know, but it was so many doors that being closed in my face because of that particular setting, you know. And once that passed, man, things started looking up. Of course, you know, I'm still, you know, having problems with, you know, certain areas of my life now, but it gives somebody else an opportunity. That's something that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to give back because I took so much away from the community in which I live. I can't, you know, give something back, you know, the tangible things, but I can help somebody else, you know, with the story that I have. Hopefully somebody will get something from it, you know, and that is goal, one of my goals. And then along with that, it was talking about the whole situation here in Baltimore with all the vacant houses, you know.
The poverty is
the
crazy
poverty,
here.
yeah. And they wanted to know, they asked me how did I know so much about the homeless because I was one of them, you know. I was one of those ones, so I had to be aware of what was going on around me and how just something, a suggestion could turn into something positive, you know, with a lot of, you know, help, you know. So.
You've done some amazing things with that in particular, and that's got to feel good to be heard by some important people. Obviously, getting the band The Box enacted so that was taken away and being a part of that's got to be a huge accomplishment for you. And, you know, with the poverty level in this city, who knows what happens with that? Maybe, hopefully, something does change. I mean, I don't know. It would take a real miracle to see some change here, but maybe that could happen.
And that's the goal that I just to live long enough to see some change. You know, with all the records that I had in my life, and now it's like, you know, as they say, I ain't got that many years in front of me as I got behind me. But hopefully, but I did help in that, you know, area, and I felt good about that. You know, I did something positive, you know, and it was for the better of people, period. You know, so it was something that I helped to get accomplished because, like I said last night, I never, you know, finished anything.
Except a prison sentence.
But a prison sentence.
Well, one thing about it, messing around with us, Lenny, it's my hope to see you do some really good things. You got these books already. You got a third book on the way.
Right.
And it's my hope to be able to see us figure out where this damn book is at in terms of on the internet.
Right.
That way we can help you get some sales for the book. The first thing I want to do is find it and be able to share where this book is at, or the fact, just be able to see the books. I know that you've written the book. I just want to read what you've written about, I guess is my biggest thing. I want to go ahead and wrap this up because the weather's starting to change on us. I mean, it's just now starting to come down a little bit, but they're calling for a lot worse snow. We're going to be getting up out of here. Lenny, hey, it has been a pleasure to get a chance to meet you.
Most definitely, most definitely.
To begin to work with you. Like I told you last night when we were filming, you know, you're just getting a chance to meet us. So we got to build this trust together, and it's my hope to be able to share your story with the masses or anybody who would be interested in hearing your story, because who knows who your story helps. And it's my hope to be able to try to help you in any way that we can, whatever that entails moving forward. I
appreciate it.
43 years, Lenny.
Thank you.
That's a hell of a long time to be locked up. You started, I said you started in the movie.
No, I ain't no star.
You were in the movie, or at least at a prison where they were filming the movie at, and you're back out here in the free world. It's got to feel good to be back out here, and the whole world is in front of you. You just got to stay on the right damn course.
And, you know, one of my goals is, like you said, that's what I got to do. You know, I try to build town. I had my job as building townhomes as a living. And once I come off of that blueprint, you know, things go wrong. So now it's like in my life, I got to stay on course, stay on the blueprint that I have set for myself. And, you know, with the help that, you know, that I'm asking for, you know, I'm not asking for money, financial gain. It's just to get my thinking back in order, you know, and keep me on the right track. So I got to surround myself with positive-minded people. Thank you.
Well, I'm hopeful that the comments of this are going to be positive, and that'll be the first thing for you to be able to see you know, some exterior positivity coming in your direction. We're getting ready to wrap this up. Lenny, I can't shake your hand enough, brother. It's been a pleasure to get a chance to meet you.
Thank you.
And we're going to be doing a lot more with Lenny, featuring a lot more of your story. And if there's anything that we can do to help you, we're here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anything you'd like to say to everybody?
And before I go, thanks for y'all allowing me to share my story with y'all, and I truly appreciate it. So with that, thanks. My name's Lenny, and I am a recovery addict. Thank you.
All right, we're just dropping Lenny off. There he goes right there, going home. Shout out to Lenny. Good guy, but can definitely tell he is definitely still struggling. And man, how could you not struggle in a city like this? I mean, Joel kind of said it best yesterday. I don't know if we had it on camera or not. He said if you were living up here.
If I was living up here, you know, like in kind of the same predicaments as a lot of the people that live out here, I'd probably be doing a lot of sketchy stuff too, you know? I mean, that's all you see around you on a daily basis. There's just a lot of negativity and a lot of people that you can't trust, and just so much going on that it kind of consumes you, you know?
Crazy. Well, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. We don't have a chance to scream before you get honked at, because one thing I've learned about Baltimore drivers, they honk as soon as the light turns green. It's 11 o'clock. The weather is definitely getting progressively worse, and we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I want to give a very special shout out to Coley, to Jerome, to the other Jerome, to Lenny. But shout out to the people that we met up here. And you know, we were talking about this earlier. It's a video in itself. What happened to Baltimore? Like, I don't even know anything about this place, but you look at it and you can tell that something definitely happened. Look at this. They got the sign in the door. We were just talking about these vacant properties. The sign in the door says, property not for sale. What happened to this place? If you've never been here, and I never have before, this is definitely a hell of an experience. Gives you a whole lot of perspective on life. Like, Jesus, you know, sometimes I complain about a lot of things, and I ain't got nothing to complain about. Just living here is a complaint.